When I say brain-computer interfaces, almost here is mind control, AI chips in your brain, computers taking over the world. But what if there's a better way to see? As for any technology, we can think of brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs for short, as a double-sided coin. There's a good side and a bad side. As a young innovator passionate about neurotechnology, I often hear people talk about these science fiction dystopian scenarios of brain chips going out of control, allowing certain entity to influence the minds of people and causing robot apocalypses. But if we're able to look past these scenarios, there's a world of possibilities that BCIs and other emerging technologies have to offer. Today, I will share with you one: vision restoration. Our eyes are fascinatingly intricate systems that are able to translate light and visual information into electrical activity in the brain. However, when any part of the eye or the optic nerve becomes injured, the system falls apart. And that's where BCIs come in. A BCI implant, when located on the visual cortex, can stimulate the brain in a way that simulates the electrical signals needed for vision. To achieve the needed stimulation, we need to first understand what points on the brain have to be stimulated and how much for each pixel or part of the image to be projected. Then we have to communicate the placement and intensity to a tiny implant with thousands of electrodes and finally fire the needed electrodes to achieve vision. Easy enough, right? Well, not quite. If you were to get such an implant right now, instead of this beautiful picture, you would see this. In the best case scenario. As you can see, there are quite a few technical issues yet to be resolved before the solution can make it on the shelf, including figuring out biofeedback, improving precision and the placement of electrodes, increasing electrode number. I will not bore you with all of these issues today. But I hope this quick solution description shows us how much impact BCIs could make if applied to solving such complex health issues. But think about it for a second. This piece of technology can improve the quality of life for more than 40 million people struggling with vision impairments and blindness today. The surprising part is that the key to vision restoration lies not only in technical breakthroughs, but in societal shifts as well. The technology is in development, but fear is stalling the process. If these technical issues were to be resolved tomorrow, what is blocking the solution from getting on the shelf is more about the ethics of and emotional responses to innovation than the science being impossible. As Alicia Howell, a research scientist from a leading BCI company, Neurable, put it, the first challenge in this solution is ensuring that the benefit of restored vision is worth the risk of side effects and is something that should be closely discussed with the blind community. And Alicia is absolutely right. We must set the rules for safe, sustainable solutions while also ensuring that the development of assistive technology is being encouraged, not obstructed. Because change is happening. And it's not wrong to be afraid. In fact, we should ask the challenging questions. With ideas being so imaginative and so crazy, we have to account for unexpected negative consequences and leave room for the crazy thoughts. However, shutting down might stop the development of essential assistive technology, but it will not stop technology from evolving. We don't get to put it on hold and wait till someone figures out how to approach innovation right when there isn't really a real answer to that. We have to match the pace of innovation when developing guidelines for ethics and safety and minimize risks in the moment. Otherwise, we are robbing significant parts of our society of the solutions that they deserve. Oftentimes, innovation is a privilege to be enjoyed by the elite, the people with access. And it takes decades for it to make it to assistive technology and improve millions of lives with life-sustaining solutions. So change is happening, whether we want it or not, but there is a need for a better version of it. It is up to us to leverage technology in equitable and democratized ways. Seeing technology as an enemy prevents us from unleashing its full potential. BCI, something that was seen as a precursor of world chaos and overdependence on technology, can actually help us see a better, more beautiful, and more accessible world together if we give it a chance. To achieve this, we have to make our lives a part of the future. Be curious and courageous. Bring our own diverse perspectives into tech. Advocate for what we believe in, and make it easier for technology to get on the shelf. That is the difference between being defensive and proactive. Championing the process of engaging with ideas, delving into fear and complication, and plugging in, paying attention to shape our future into one where humanity is not only safe, but also thriving. So I encourage you to reimagine the way that you think about emerging technology. Let's get excited about the endless improvements that it might bring. Think about how we can foster innovation together and make it easier for it to change so many lives. When it comes to tools that can make or break the world order today, access to them and their benefits should be shared across all demographics, embracing the power of technology to create a better tomorrow for all, a future that all of us can envision. Thank you.